What happens when those sworn to uphold the law are accused of breaking it? Who can you trust when you hear of a police officer implicated in a daring hijacking? From fake sirens to muddy escapes, prepare for a story packed with intrigue, unexpected turns, and the unsettling question of who can you really trust. Welcome to the Riaan Roux Show, where I look at those stories that affect every South African in some or other way. Today, I'm looking into a story that feels ripped straight from the headlines of a crime thriller. A tale of deception, daring, and the unsettling question of who can you really trust? Buckle up, because this one has some twists and turns. I read this recent media statement from the South African Police Service on their website. The link is in the video description. At first glance, it might seem like a standard crime update, but when you dig a little deeper, the threads of a much larger and more perplexing narrative begin to emerge. The date is January 17th, 2025. The location? The Delmas Magistrate's Court, where a 36-year-old man named Hennie Mabasa made his appearance. Now, Hennie isn't just any individual. He's a member of the Tshwane Metro Police. His charge? Connection to a hijacking that took place just 2 days prior in Sundra. Think about that for a second. A law enforcement officer on the other side of the law. The irony is as sharp as a knife. Let's rewind to the early hours of January 15th. Picture this. The clock strikes 2 a.m. The inky blackness of the early morning hangs heavy over the N12 Road in Sundra. 2 employees of a courier company are on the road, a driver and a crew member in a Mitsubishi bakkie. They're not alone, they're escorting 2 company trucks. And here's the detail that adds a layer of tension. Both these men are armed. They're expecting trouble, or at least prepared for it. Suddenly, out of the darkness, a VW Golf 7 appears in the rearview mirror. But this isn't just any car tailgating them. This one has a siren blaring and those unmistakable flashing blue lights dancing on the dashboard. The universal signal to pull over. Authority, trust, or so it seems. The bakkie is forced to the side of the road. The driver steps out, probably expecting a routine check. But what greets him isn't what he anticipated. Not 1, not 2, but 4 individuals emerge from the Golf. And here's where the plot thickens. One of them is a woman, dressed in a Metro Police uniform. Is this a legitimate stop gone wrong? Or something far more sinister? The request is standard at first, driver's license. But then the focus shifts. They notice he is armed. Suddenly the demand for his firearm and its license. The crew member is also disarmed. The facade of a routine stop crumbles. Guns are drawn. The 2 courier employees are now the victims of an armed robbery. They're forced to lie face down in front of the VW Golf. The crew member is shoved back into the Mitsubishi, held captive. The driver, however, is taken away in the Golf with the now identified suspect Hennie Mabasa. Imagine the fear, the confusion racing through his mind as he's driven away, unsure of his fate, leaving his colleague behind. What follows is almost unbelievable. Mabasa drives the driver around, eventually dumping him on Nell Street in Sundra. Meanwhile, the crew member is abandoned next to the R42 road, the keys to their vehicle gone, stranded, vulnerable. But this isn't the end of the story, not by a long shot. the resourceful crew member somehow manages to contact his employer. And here's where luck, or perhaps just sheer determination, plays a role. While searching for their missing vehicle, they spot the VW Golf, stuck in the mud, somewhere in Delmas. You can almost picture the scene, the frustration of the hijackers turning to desperation. Security companies are called in, and then the unexpected. The driver of the stuck Golf, our Mr. Mabasa, offers up a series of increasingly unbelievable stories. First he claims he's lost. Then, in a move that defies logic, he claims he's been hijacked. The audacity. But the universe, or perhaps just the approaching sirens, has a way of revealing the truth. When a police vehicle appears, Mabasa tries to flee. A Metro Police officer trying to evade the very law he swore to uphold. The irony, again, is striking. His attempt is short-lived. He is apprehended. Now, Hennie Mabasa sits in custody. His case postponed until January 23rd for a formal bail application. But the mystery doesn't end there. His accomplices are still at large. The stolen items, a rifle with 30 rounds and a pistol with 15 rounds, and the contents of the Mitsubishi bakkie are still missing. This isn't just about a hijacking. This is about a breach of trust. A member of law enforcement allegedly using his position, the very symbol of authority, to commit a crime. It raises so many questions. Was this a rogue operation, or is there a more organized element at play? The acting provincial commissioner, Major General Mkwanazi, has commended the swift response and acknowledges the worrying trend of blue light robberies. He hopes this arrest will lead to the resolution of other similar cases. But think about the implications. How can the public trust law enforcement if those tasked with protecting us are the ones committing the crimes? What does this say about the systems in place? And who are these other individuals involved? The woman in uniform. Was she also a police officer or an imposter, adding another layer of deception to this already complex web? This case is far from closed. It's a stark reminder that the line between law and lawlessness can sometimes be blurred, and that the uniform doesn't always represent justice. I'll be following this story closely, and as more details emerge, I'll be sure to bring them to you. What are your thoughts on this case? Let me know in the comment section, and until next time, stay vigilant, and remember, sometimes the most dangerous wolves wear sheep's clothing, or in this case, a police uniform. If you found any value in this content, please do like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.